The Governor Central Bank convinced me that there is need to change it, and I agreed with him. Time has been given from October to December, 3 months is enough, whatever money you have, to get it changed through a legal system. So I don't know why people are complaining about it.
You serious?
Oh, no, there's no going back. There's no going back.
Parts of Nigeria had descended into chaos as frustrated Nigerians besieged ATM units in a bid to access their own money since the Central Bank of Nigeria new Naira policy took effect. Violent protests had been recorded in parts of the country, including Oyo and Akwa Ibom in the country's south, while the social media was awash with lamentations of suffering Nigerians who were unable to access their funds for transactions. In the midst of all this, President Muhammadu Buhari left Nigerians confused as he kept mum, promising to address citizens on the severe cash crunch hurting economic activities in the country. Superintending over the Central Bank of Nigeria is a man who, for longer than the sitting president, has been its governor. A second 5-year term was approved for him by the Nigerian Senate in 2019, thus making this man the first to serve for a second term since Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999. This is the story of the Nigerian behind the CBN new Naira policy, Godwin EMEFIELE. Born on 4th August 1961 in Lagos State, Nigeria, EMEFIELE is originally from Ika South, Abo region of Delta State. EMEFIELE attended Ansarudeen Primary School and Maryland Comprehensive Secondary, both in Lagos, before proceeding to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, for his tertiary education. He obtained a bachelor's degree in banking and finance, finishing as one of the top students in his class in 1984. Soon after his National Youth Service, Godwin EMEFIELE returned to UNN for a master's degree in finance, which he obtained in 1986. He is also an alumnus of executive education at Stanford University and Harvard. Before becoming CBN governor, he served as Chief Executive Officer and Group Managing Director of Zenith Bank plc. EMEFIELE was appointed the central bank governor by President Goodluck Jonathan on June 4, 2014, becoming the 11th Central Bank of Nigeria chief and its 10th indigenous governor. EMEFIELE was appointed the central bank governor by President Goodluck Jonathan on June 4, 2014, becoming the 11th CBN chief and its 10th indigenous governor. EMEFIELE replaced Malam Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, whose tenure elapsed on June 1, 2014. In an unprecedented move by any chief of the Nigerian Apex Bank, Godwin EMEFIELE ventured into partisan politics against the dictates of the Central Bank Act, which provides that the occupant of the governor's position must remain apolitical and independent at all times to preserve the non-partisan posture of the bank. In May 2022, EMEFIELE drew public outrage when it emerged that he was seeking to replace President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2023 presidential election. What started as a rumor when campaign posters of the bank chief flooded the capital city of Abuja, soon gained breath when a group of alleged rice farmers purchased the presidential form of the All Progressive Congress for the CBN governor. In a series of tweets by his verified account, Emefiele rejected the presidential form and declared he has no intention to contest. But, in a quick twist, Emefiele filed a lawsuit at the Federal High Court in Abuja, seeking an order from the court directing the electoral body and the office of the Attorney General not to stop him from contesting the presidential position. The court stepped down the request, but invited the duo to make a formal presentation on why Emefiele's request should not be granted. Nigerians and the civil society organizations had filed multiple cases in court demanding the removal of the CBN governor for violating the provisions of the Apex Bank Act. Next, the CBN governor on October 26, 2022 announced his plan to redesign 3 bank notes. An excited President Muhammadu Buhari subsequently unveiled the redesigned 200, 500 and 1000 Naira notes on November 23, 2022. The Apex Bank fixed a January 31st deadline for the validity of the old notes. Within this period, all old notes were expected to have been turned in to the CBN through deposit banks, and by then enough of the new notes would have saturated cash space. This did not happen. Enough new notes were not in circulation. Not so much the fault of the CBN, but so much for the greed of deposit bank workers. Some bankers turned the simple exercise of dispensing new Naira notes through ATM machines into a gamble and a profiteering game. Some simply refused to load new Naira notes into their ATM machines, but elected to sell the new notes to touts, money traders, and sundry cash merchants for profit. Will this mark the end of controversies under Godwin EMEFIELE? Only time will tell.